Hả? Dạ bác. Sir? Yeah. So at the end, the casket is going to come to the... Yeah. Perfect. Just wanted to let you know. Where's the restrooms in the office, right? This one's
Go straight. Make a right behind the office. Oh, you okay? Huh? Take care of her. Are you recording this also?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got it on YouTube. Put up yourself. You check YouTube now.
So I want to watch it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just okay.
we'll be happy to. Yeah. What is the link to watch it?
That you know? I did. Yes.
What's that?
You check it like that, then yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to her.
Yeah, you check first, you check first, you understand.
Waiting for the host to start the meeting. Saying waiting.
Jadi you copy, you share, and then you send also. You share, yeah. Send, thank you.
What is that for? So that's no good enough. So all these people don't have. Listen.
I pull one of those white standing pieces, put it up on the stage. There's two little candles. I think it might fill in a little something.
to say it in the nicest way.
So हमारे पास 11 बजे से 1 बजे तक.
Correct. और 11 लोग speech दे रहे हैं. So
The speech time कितना है total?
you
Approximately.
never know. People break down. People say this, but 11 speeches. Let's say 5 minutes to speech, right? Average it out. 5 minute, 1 घंटा, right? आधा घंटा वो, आधा घंटा viewing. That's 2 hours right there, right? And then we have a 20-minute video to watch.
वीडियो तो साथ में चलते जाएगा.
No, there's a video लोगों ने अपने
जो भेजे
हैं. There's a 20-minute video of people saying.
That should be part of the speech. We should. I mean, you don't want the speeches and the videos to go over. You know.
Let's take it out.
मैं पूछता हूँ बात करता हूँ.
Yes.
सारा फैन ठीक है वो.
ठीक है. पहले ब्रेक डाउन हुई 2-3 बारी. ठीक है.
बेटा ताऊ जी
कम let's go.
एक सेकंड. Neetu, she's here.
Because we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. We'll start. The priest will start at 11. I was going to introduce
Bathrooms and all that?
The bathrooms are in the mortuary office. This way.
What is this big?
Well, they're also in the mausoleum, but I don't like them. They're not very nice. But let me show you. Oh, they're closed, the mausoleum ones? Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to go to the...
Nikhil, right? Yeah.
So I think he has the keys, but let's.
मैंने आपको वो वाला दिया ना कप बॉटल वो दे दी
He's strong. Okay? He's not gonna like it. Cry. Okay? Be happy for him. Let's do a happy send off. Okay?
ये मैं सोच रही हूँ टिश्यूज के लिए आगे ही रख ही देती हूँ
एक तो पड़ा हुआ वहाँ पे।
वो तो ट्रैश है ना
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
ये मैं तो रख रही
No, we're gonna open it after there's a thing stop. 15 minutes. Yeah. It's in the front, the water.
एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः that's a lot there.
आंटी से पूछ रही है ठीक है
said before that. So I think one of them reopened, so we're going to go.
Should I go look for that?
We'll get it on. Mina,
अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्षो जीवमोक्षप्रदो भव। पिता धर्म पिता स्वर्ग पिता हि परमं तपः। पितरि प्रीतिमापन्ने प्रियन्ते सर्वदैवताः। ॐ पितृदेवो भव। सब लोग बैठ जाइए।
पंडित जी माता जी
आंटी जी को वहां से लाके पहले दर्शन करा दीजिए, फिर उनको वहां बिठा दीजिए। ठीक है उनको। ओम पितृभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः। पितामहेभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः। अक्षन्पितरोमि मदन्त पितरोति त्रपन्त पितरः पितरः सुन्धद्वम्मा। भाई के पास ओम पितृदेवो भव। ओम अनाधिनिधनो देव शंखचक्र गदाधर अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्षो जीवमोक्षप्रदो भव। अतसी पुष्पसंकासं पीतवासनमच्युतं ये नमस्यन्ति गोविन्दं न तेषां विद्यते भयम्। ॐ समस्त पितृस्वरूपी जनार्दनाय नमो नमः। प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् नमस्करोमि। ॐ घृतं घृतपावानः पिबत वसाम्बसा पावानः पिबतान्तरिक्षस्य हविरसि स्वाहा। दिशः प्रदिश आदिशो विदिश उद्दिशो दिग्भ्यः स्वाहा। ॐ दीपस्थ परमात्मने नमो नमः। ओम अग्निर्ज्योतिखाज्योतिखमान्द्रुगमो वरचोधा व्रतसवान्न सहस्रदा असि सहस्रायत्वा। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः दीपस्थ परमात्मने नमो नमः। प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। दीपस्थ परमात्मने नमो नमः। शेषोपचारार्थे नमस्करोमि। कर्मारंभे आचम्य प्राणानायम्य। आप दोनों 3 बार जल पी जाइए। ओम केशवाय नमः। ओम नारायणाय नमः। ओम माधवाय नमः। हाथ धो लीजिए। गोविंदाय नमः। हस्तं प्रक्षाल्य यथा पर्वत धातूनां दोषान् दहति पावक एवमन्तर्गतं पापं प्राणायामेन दह्यते इति मूलेन प्राणायामः। अब दोनों भाई राइट हैंड की रिंग फिंगर में ये पहन लीजिए। ओम पवित्रे स्थो वैष्णव्यौ सावितृपः प्राशवौदपूनाम्यच्छिद्रेण पवित्रेण सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः तस्य ते पवित्रपदे पवित्रभूतस्य तत्कामः पुनेतच्छगेयम्। अब आप दोनों दो हाथ जोड़ के भगवान का मंत्र है, द्वादशाक्षर मंत्र मीन्स 12 कैरेक्टर्स का मंत्र। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। आप सभी लोग भी दो हाथ जोड़ के अंकल जी की आत्मा को शांति मिले, इसलिए सबसे पहले भगवान नारायण को प्रार्थना कीजिए। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सभी लोग दो हाथ जोड़ के 12 टाइम्स उस मंत्र का जाप कीजिए, आपके मन को शांत कीजिए। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ओम शांति 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 सुशांतिर्भवतु। मन से सभी देवताओं को पहले प्रणाम कीजिए। ओम सर्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अब सभी लोग मिलके भगवान को प्रार्थना करो कि आज से अंकल जी अंतिम यात्रा को प्राप्त होंगे। तो हे प्रभु, जाने अनजाने में हमसे कोई भी गलती हो गई हो, इस जीवात्मा की कोई इच्छा पूर्ण न हुई हो, तो ऐसी जो भी जीवन दरमियान भूलचूक हो गई हो, तो हे प्रभु हमें क्षमा करना और इस जीवात्मा को प्रभु आपके चरणों में स्थान देना। तो दो हाथ जोड़ के परमात्मा से प्रार्थना करो। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वज्ञो शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः शामा शान्तिरेधि जतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु षण्णः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः। ओम विष्णवे नमः। प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। अब दोनों भाई राइट हैंड में जल रखिए ऐसे। ओम तिथिर विष्णु तथा वारो नक्षत्रम विष्णुरेव च योगश्च करणं चैव सर्वं विष्णुमयं जगत्। आप दोनों मन से प्रार्थना करो कि आज हम हमारे पिताजी का अग्नि संस्कार की जो विधि है वो करने के लिए बैठे हैं। अग्नि संस्कार का अर्थ यह है कि मनुष्य जब अपना देह छोड़ता है, यानी आत्मा बॉडी से अलग हो जाती है, तो उस शव को, उस बॉडी को पंच महाभूत में विलीन करते हैं, यानी 5 एलिमेंट्स जो है पंच तत्व, उसके अंदर विलीन करते हैं। तो उसमें से एक तत्व है अग्नि यानी फायर। तो उसके अंदर बॉडी को हम समर्पित करते हैं और वो बॉडी पंच महाभूत में विलीन हो जाती है। तो पुत्र का ये कर्तव्य है, ये धर्म है कि अपने पिता के पीछे अग्नि संस्कार श्राद्धादि कर्म करके उस जीवात्मा को परम शांति की प्राप्ति हो, उसके पीछे जो पूजा होती है उसका नाम है श्राद्ध विधि। तो ये सबसे पहला आज यहाँ पिंडदान होगा, उसके बाद हम अग्नि संस्कार की विधि करेंगे। तो उसका अर्थ, उसका तात्पर्य यही है कि इस जीवात्मा को चिर शांति यानी परम शांति की प्राप्ति हो और आप दोनों अपना धर्म निभा रहे हो। तो उसी का नाम है ये अग्नि संस्कार का संकल्प। मन से आप दोनों यही प्रार्थना करना कि मेरे पिताजी को मोक्ष गति प्राप्त हो। विष्णोर विष्णोर विष्णु श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णु आज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्यद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीये परार्धे श्रीश्वेतवाराह कल्पे सप्तमे वैवस्वतमन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथमचरणे मासानामुत्तमे मासे शुभकारिका पुण्यपवित्र पौषमासे कृष्णपक्षे शुभपुण्यतिथौ वारश्रेष्ठहत्यैः शुभवासरे यथा वर्तमान नक्षत्र योगकरण मुहूर्त समवाये एवं ग्रह गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्यतिथौ गोत्रोच्चारः। आपका गोत्र पता है आपको? कश्यप ब्रह्मादि कश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य लास्ट नेम भगत अवटंकधारिणः। आप बड़े हैं राइट? आपका शुभ नाम राजीव नाम्नाः यजमानस्य तथा च संजीव नाम्नाः द्वितीय सुपुत्रस्य यजमानस्य समस्त परिवार जनानां यजमानो अहम। आप दोनों बोलिए मम आत्मनः श्रुति स्मृति पुराण उक्त कथित पुण्य फल प्राप्ति अर्थम धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष फल चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि अर्थम। पिताजी का नाम मम बोलिए मम धन प्रकाश नामना पितुः उत्तमलोक प्राप्ति अर्थम अस्मिन् दीने यथाशक्ति पिंडदान सहित यथाशक्ति अग्नि संस्कार कर्म अहम करिष्ये। आप दोनों यहाँ जल छोड़ दीजिए। अब श्राद्ध के देव है भगवान विष्णु, तो मन में उनका नाम स्मरण कीजिए। ओम विष्णवे नमः। ओम इदं विष्णुर्वीतकरामे त्रेधा निदधे पदम् समूढमस्य वाग्गोसुरे स्वाहा। ओम पापापहा महाविष्णवे नमः। सर्वोपचारार्थे प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। अब दोनों भाई इसमें से थोड़ा गंगा जल इसमें डालिए, आप इनको टच करिए। ओम आपोहिष्टमयो भुवस्थान ऊर्जे दधातन महेरणाय चक्षसे जो वः शिवतमो रसदस्य भाजयते हनः उशतीरिव मातरः तस्मा अरंघमामवो यस्य क्षयाय जिन्वध आपो जन यथा चनः। आप दोनों खड़े हो जाइए। यहाँ जाइए, आपके लेफ्ट हैंड में रखिए, राइट हैंड से इसमें डीप करके 3 बार पिताजी के शरीर। ओम चित्पातिर्मा पुनातुर्वाक्पातिर्मा पुनातुर्देवो मा सविता पुनात्वच्छिद्रेण पवित्रेण सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः तस्य दे पवित्रपदे पवित्रभूतस्य जत्कामः पुने तक्षकेयं पुण्डरीकाक्षाय नमः। सर्वं पवित्रमस्तु। हरिः ओम। ततो गंधधारणम् राइट हैंड की फर्स्ट फिंगर है, उससे पहले चंदन का, फिर उसके बाद पितृभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः प्रपितामहेभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः अक्षन् पितरोमि मदन्त पितरोति त्र्यपन्त पितरः सुन्दधवम्मा ओम पितृदेवताभ्यो नमो नमः गन्धम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम् वातो वा मनो वा गन्धर्वाः सप्तविघ्नोऽसति ते अग्रेश्च मयौजस्ते अस्मिन् जवमाददुः एष वो गन्धम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम् माता जी को लिखे आंटी जी ये गंगा जल है, तो आप सब लोग एक दूसरे को टच करना, इनके मुख में 3 बार थोड़ा थोड़ा गंगा जल अर्पण करना। नमामि गंगे तव पाद पंकज सुरासुरवन्दित दिव्य रूपं भुक्तिं च मुक्तिं च दधासि नित्या भावानुसारेण सदा नराणाम् ॐ भूस्त्वयि दधामि ॐ भुवस्त्वयि दधामि ॐ स्वस्त्वयि दधामि ॐ पुष्कराध्यानतिरधामि गंगाद्या सरितस्तथा आगच्छन्तु पवित्राणि श्राद्धकाले सदा मम ओम सभी लोग आइए, एक एक तुलसी का पान उनके मुख में। ओम तुलसी हेम रूपांच रत्न रूपांच मंजरीं भवमोक्ष प्रदां तुभ्यं अर्पयामि हरिप्रिया। ओम एषते तुलसी दलानि उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। पुष्पमाला ले लीजिए। ये सेंटर भाग नीचे का सब लोग टच कीजिए। आप सभी लोग बोलिए पिता धर्म पिता स्वर्ग पिता ही परमं तपः पीतरी प्रीतिमा पन्ने प्रियन्ते सर्व दैवताः ओम पितृदेवो भव। अंकल जी को अर्पण करते हैं। ओम एषते पुष्पमालां उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। आप तीनों प्रणाम करके अपनी जगह पे बैठ जाओ। आप यहाँ ही पिंड का डिब्बा है ना, बोला लेफ्ट हैंड आप सारा पूजा करना। पिंड को ऐसे पकड़ना और मैं जब भी कहूँ जहाँ बताऊँ वो जगह ऐसे राइट साइड ऐसे फर्स्ट फिंगर एंड थंब सेकंड। आप इनको टच कीजिए राइट हैंड से राइट हैंड। ओम ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य पिताजी का नाम बोलिए। धन प्रकाश नाम्नः एषते प्रथम पिंडः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठतां। द्वितीय पिंडमादाय ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य धन प्रकाश नाम्नः एषते द्वितीय पिंडः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठतां। ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य धन प्रकाश नाम्नः एषते तृतीय पिंडः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठतां। ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य धन प्रकाश नाम्नः एषते चतुर्थ पिंडः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठताम्। ओम ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य धनप्रकाश नाम्नः एष ते पंचमपिण्डः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठताम् सेंटर में। ओम ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य धनप्रकाश नाम्नः एष ते षष्ठमपिण्डः मद्दत्तं तमोपतिष्ठताम् प्रणाम कीजिए। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः पिंडस्थानेषु अवनेजनम्। एक एक स्पून गंगा जल हर एक पिंड के ऊपर। ओम एषते पाद्यं पादावनेजनम् पाद प्रक्षालनम् उपतिष्ठतु। एषते पाद्यं पादावनेजनम् पाद प्रक्षालनम् उपतिष्ठताम्। ये प्लेट आप ले अब आप राइट हैंड की फर्स्ट फिंगर से हर एक पिंड के ऊपर जहां से जैसे रखा है ना वही क्रम से तिलक कीजिए पिंड के ऊपर। ओम ब्रह्मादि काश्यप गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य एषु पिंडेषु गंधम उपतिष्ठताम्। एषु पिंडेषु गंधम उपतिष्ठताम्। ओम ह्रीयश्च मे जवाश्च मे माखाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे प्रियंगवश्च मे नमश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे जज्ञेन कल्पन्ताम्। दोनों भाई राइट हैंड में और राइट हैंड का जो थंब है उससे ऐसे हर एक जगह वही क्रम से। ओम ह्रीयश्च मे जवाश्च मे माखाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे प्रियंगवश्च मे नमश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसूराश्च मे जज्ञेन कल्पन्ताम्। एषु पिंडेषु तिलान् उपतिष्ठताम्। प्रणाम कीजिए फिर। एषु पिंडेषु तिलान् उपतिष्ठताम्। आप इसमें से हर एक पिंड के ऊपर एक एक रखिए। लेफ्ट हैंड में रखिए राइट हैंड से ऐसे करके नहीं संदीप ऐसे। ओम सवितात्मा सवनग्गुसुवता अग्निर्गृहपति नग्गुसोमो वनस्पतीनां बृहस्पतिर्वाच इन्द्रो ज्येष्ठ्याय रुद्रः वसुभ्यो मित्रः सत्यो वरुणो धर्मपतीनाम्। ओम एषु पिंडेषु पुष्पाणि उपतिष्ठतु। सभी पुष्पाणि उपतिष्ठताम्। एषु पिंडेषु षड्पिंडेषु नमो नमः। दिया उसके अंदर रख देना। दूसरी प्लेट ले लो उसके अंदर दिया रख देना। ओम पितृभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः प्रपितामहेभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः। अक्षं पितरोमि मदन्त पितरोति त्र्यपन्त पितरः पितरः सुन्धत्वम्। ओम एषते पुष्पाणि उपतिष्ठताम्। शॉल है वो ले लीजिए। हाँ दोनों ले लो। किसी को बुलाना है ये चढ़ाने के लिए?
ये
हाँ तो उनको बुलाइए। पहले एक लीजिए, एक यहाँ ले लीजिए। ओम युवा सुवासा परिमितागा संश्रेयान् भवति जायमानः तन्धीरा सकुनयन्ति स्वाध्यो मनसा देवयन्तः एषते वस्त्रम् उपवस्त्रम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। ये किसको कहना नहीं है, यानी कोई है यही। ओम युवा सुवासा परिमितागा संश्रेयान् भवति जायमानः तन्धीरा सकुनयन्ति स्वाध्यो मनसा देवयन्तः एषते यथा लाभ वस्त्रम् उपतिष्ठतु एषते पुष्पाणि उपतिष्ठतु। यहाँ आप दोनों भाई आ जाइए, आप लोग अपनी जगह पे बैठिए। हाँ, बच्चों को रेडी रखें। एषते पुष्पाणि ओम ओखधीः प्रतिमोदध्वम् उद्भवतीः प्रसुप्परीः अस्मा इव सदितवरिभिरुदः पारैष्णवः एषते पुष्पाणि उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। अब एक कोकोनट आप ले लीजिए, कोई भी एक कोकोनट। आप दोनों भाई इसको टच कीजिए। ओम जाः फलिर्जा अफला अपवाजाश्च मुखविणिः बृहद्पदे प्रसूतास्तानो मुञ्चन्त्वग्गो हसः। वहां से एक प्रदक्षिणा करके आइए। ओम मूर्धारं दिवो अरतिं पृथिव्या वैश्वानरमृत आजातमग्निम् ते खग्गुसहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि। इनकी राइट साइड हाँ, आप दोनों आ जाइए, कोकोनट ले लीजिए। यहां खड़े। ओम जाः फलिर्जा अफला अपवाजाश्च मुखविणिः बृहद्पदे प्रसूतास्तानो मुञ्चन्त्वग्गो हसः। ओम मूर्धानं दिवो अरतिं पृथिव्या वैश्वानरमृज आजातमग्निम् कविग्गो सम्राज्यमतिथिं जनाना मासन्ना पात्रं जनयन्त देवाः। ओम जमाय त्वांगिरिस्वदे पितृमते स्वाहा स्वाहा घर्माय स्वाहा घर्मः पित्रे। ओम समस्त पितृस्वरूपी जनार्दनाय नमो नमः। आप बेटा वहां प्रणाम करो, अपनी जगह पे बैठ जाओ। आप दोनों पिताजी के राइट ईयर में ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय वो मंत्र 1 by 1 बोलिए। मास निकाल। ओम इदं विष्णुर्विदग्रमेत्रे धानि दधे पदम् समूढमस्य वाग्गुसुरे स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम धूरसि धुर्व धुर्वन्तं जोस्मान् धुर्वति तन्वयं धुर्वामः देवानामसि मह्नितमग्गो षष्णितमं बभृतमं दुष्टतमं देवहूतमम्। ओम प्रेताय एषते धूपम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। एषते धूपम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठताम्। वैसे दिया दिखाना है, जस्ट दिखा के एक प्रदक्षिणा दोनों टच करो। ओम अग्निर्ज्योतिखा ज्योतिखमान्तृक्मो वरतसा वरतस्वान्न सहस्रदा असि सहस्रायतमा एषते दीपम् उपतिष्ठतु उपतिष्ठतां प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् नमस्करोमि।
यहाँ से भी जा सकते हैं। चाहे यहाँ से जाए या यहाँ से जाए, तो भी चलेगा, तो भी चलेगा। हाँ, राउंड ऐसे करने से स्पीच के लिए हाँ, उसको उठा लो।
really a testament to how far and wide he was loved. That so many people all over the world wanted to speak to you today about what my grandfather meant to them. And you'll hear from many of those people this morning. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Nikhil. I am the oldest grandson of the PARKASH. So you'll hear from those people this morning. But before we proceed to some of the other tributes, as the person who happens to have the microphone right now, I think I will invoke a point of personal privilege and say a few words. There are many things I could tell you about my grandfather. I could tell you how, despite being born into the most abject poverty, witnessing one of the great tragedies of the 20th century, the violent partition between India and Pakistan, and becoming a refugee at a very young age, he not only survived, but through hard work, through perseverance, and honestly through sheer grit, he built a legacy where just one generation later, his children and his grandchildren do not want for any. I could tell you how he had this uncanny ability to make fast friends. You might have moved into your house 5 years ago and never have met the neighbors. But when Dada came to stay with you, he not only knew all of them by the end of the week, but he had also learned their family histories and knew their astrological signs. I could tell you how excited he was to get his US citizenship, how he insisted on voting in every election, and how he always trusted me to guide him on who to vote for. But as I stand here before all of you, there's one particular story that comes to my mind. So what you need to know about this is that Dada was fiercely competitive, and so am I. And we're both very confident people. We're both people who were always really sure that we were right. And in our defense, we usually were. One of my earliest memories with my grandfather is, as a child, he and I got into, let's call it a debate, about how to spell a simple word, how to spell the word check. And I, precocious 7 or 8-year-old that I was, born and brought up in America, insisted that this word was spelled C-H-E-C-K. And he, being raised in India, and a part of the British Empire, and having learned British English, insisted that it was spelled C-H-E-Q-U-E. And of course, 25 years later, I know that we were both right. But at the time, neither of us knew that. And so it went, back and forth, all day, each of us trying to convince the other that he was wrong. Until inevitably, that famous Punjabi phrase raised its head. Shazlami, want to make a bet? So we made a bet. We bet $1 whole, which for me, as an 8-year-old kid, was a whole lot of money. And for him, especially then, used to denominating everything in rupees, having come from nothing, he didn't think it was chump change either. And this was, of course, before the age of Google. So to settle our bet, we did the next best thing. When my father came home from work that night, we asked him. And when my father confirmed that yes, I was in fact right, that the word check was spelled C-H-E-C-K, Dada went through a range of emotions, and you could see them changing as they were happening on his face. So the first reaction was disbelief. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that he was wrong. The second was disappointment. He was a teacher. He spoke several different languages fluently. He could read and write in many of them. And he was a little bit upset that he had been bested by a neighbor. The third was resignation. He grudgingly paid up. Not necessarily happily, but he did. And then we come to the fourth one. His fourth and final reaction, it was pride. He had been bested by an 8-year-old, no doubt. But the fact that it was me, his grandson, who was the one who had prevailed over a person several decades his senior, he couldn't have been more proud. And I tell that story today because as long as I can remember, that pride never went away. I never knew him to give up any opportunity to brag about the accomplishments of every one of his children and every one of his grandchildren. And even in his last days in the hospital, he made sure that the nurses knew, and the doctors knew all of his visitors, knew who each of them were, where we worked, and all of the things that we had done. It was his favorite thing to talk about. And so, when I look back, I think that's what I'll remember most about my grandfather. How proud he was of me. So, Dadaji, as we move forward, I hope to live my life in a way that honors your memory, and in a way that you will continue to be honored. Now I'll invite to the stage Dadaji's oldest son, my father, Rajiv, and his youngest grandson, Mayank.
So I'm going to read you a few words about my father's journey, which I'm completely amazed by, and never realized those things till now, who he was. My father's journey, there is one word called Master G. Master G, Master G. All my life, I heard that name from everyone we knew, he knew, and my brother and sister knew. Born in Pakistan, side of India, where he spent his childhood and learned his language of love, Parsi. He was a born leader, taking care of responsibilities early on in his life, taking care of his younger siblings while his elders were away. He enjoyed taking care of his agriculture fields and taking care of all the cows in his small dairy at home. But he always wanted to study and be something in his life. Then the unfortunate partition happened between the two countries, and he was only 14 years old. The dreams of going to college after high school were crushed. He had stories to tell me how he and his family traveled to uncertain future on the Indian side.
of violence and bravery, they still resonate in my ears. His love for education was just amazing. From his own student life to being an educator, to the inspiration he provided to his kids, to his grandkids, and others. Hard work and determination was his mantra. He would go to any lengths to get things done, till the last moments of his life. He understood the human nature to the core. Always ready to help the poor and unfortunate. Till the last months of his life, we found out he was helping them financially, helping their kids' education, clothing, and even actually physically sending them money. Now, staying in the hospital was his least favorite thing to do. Even when he was there, he would continue to make friends with the doctors and the nurses. He would show them the pictures of our family and tell them how proud he is. And doctors and nurses who spoke Urdu and Punjabi, they got a special treatment. They heard poetry, his philosophies, and he just opened everybody up he met. But that wide open heart, it finally stopped beating. And he didn't let it win. There was no fuss, no noise, no pain at the end. He passed away quietly, proudly. His determination for educating himself was a class by itself. How he supported himself and his family to the extent of selling clothes and goods on his bicycle, going from village to village to support himself financially. Finally starting a business but giving it away to his brother because his brother didn't have any other job. Sleeping in the high school classroom where I went to high school. He was sleeping on those benches and desks at night because he had no other place to live. One thing that always impressed me about him, as an educator, he was a political science and economics major, but he elected to teach math to high schoolers. He left his imprint on every facet of society. So many Olympians, doctors, scientists, engineers, businessmen, high achievers started their journey at our house. It was hard to be known by my own name. Instead, I was Master Ji's son. I had no other choice but to excel in everything I did because I'm his son. Talk about the pressure. He wanted to give us the best, even though he couldn't afford at a teacher's salary. When I was little, one time, I remember this story very clearly. I was like 6 or 7 years old. He got me admitted to a private, very expensive school where all the rich people's kids went to school. After the first day, when he came to pick me up on his bicycle, among all the luxury cars for other kids' parents, I asked him, "Where's our car, Dad?" That was the first and the last day of the school for me. His connections had no boundaries. From a laborer to the chief of police to the political office bearers, he would make sure the work is done whatever it takes. His long-term relationship with his students is exemplary. It even extended to the students' kids and grandkids. They confided in my dad more than they confided in their own dad. His leadership showed up when he led NCC for a school where he taught, and I tagged along. I had the opportunity to go to the camps with him in different cities, towns, learning new things and spending tons of time with him. He was addicted to political news till the last moment, even in his hospital stay. His phone was always buzzing with political developments in India. He would share, argue, and discuss passionately. You're going to hear this a lot after me. Cooking was a passion of my dad. He will volunteer his cooking skills. Not volunteer, by force. You had no choice but to accept it. He will kick people out of their own kitchens and cook a meal for them. He'll cook till the last month. He cooked till the last month of his life. You had no choice but to like his cooking. The last time he cooked was for my mom on her birthday. When he came back from the hospital and still wanted to cook. And the stories I heard, he wanted to send all the food to the senior center. And he couldn't go because they told him not to go. So he called one of her friends over, and she came over in the garage, and she didn't know. And he told her how to do about it. Here's the food, this is what you do, this is what you do. So, grandkids, his legacy. He helped raising every single one of them. Inspiring, teaching, playing. My daughter still remembers the badminton that he played with her. And all our kids have a good understanding of our language. Some of them speak. And all the credit goes to him. What a life he had, starting from a small village in Mintubri, Pakistan, to Bhiwani, Haryana, to Ludhiana, Punjab, and Jalandhar, Punjab, and then Faridabad, to Los Angeles. It's a complete storybook of a life. And I'm glad and proud that I was a part of it. Makes me proud to call him my father. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. I love you, Dad.
Okay, I didn't bring a speech, but yeah. So he used to cook, and he taught me math. So I just want to say thank you, and I love you.
Now I'll invite up to the podium Anju, his daughter, and Ashmi, his granddaughter.
There's this quote that's been running through my head. It says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I know that all of us will never forget how my Nana made us feel. His aloo tikkis and bread pakoras, which we'll hear a lot about. His phone calls before every exam. His phone calls after every exam. His phone calls after every clinical day to hear how minor
patience and tell me that even when I feel like I'm complaining about how hard it gets, I can do it. His smile every time I'd make him try a new sugar-free pastry, even if it made him constipated the next day. Him waking up in the middle of the night when Siren and I would bake until 4 a.m. He'd come out and yell at us, but then pull up a chair and help us crush our lychees because we really didn't want to do it ourselves. Him always telling us to put our socks on so we didn't fall sick. Him becoming best friends with any grocery store owner or neighborhood Indian friend in the park. Those friends turning into lifelong friends and partners and parents will continue to live their lives with. His stories of crossing the border as a teenager, never failing to mention he was holding his little brother's hand the whole time. Him calling every person under the sun on WhatsApp every morning and every night on speakerphone to catch up with them. Him bringing my mom and Bobby Mamu to Buga and Gajaka Halwa every night when they'd study for exams. Him standing by the garage door, waiting until the car would leave the driveway to wave us goodbye. And him always calling me Dr. Gautam, even if I still couldn't take his blood pressure correctly. These moments were who my Nana was, and always will be for me. The essence of his being was to always do everything in his power to make the people around him feel so loved, so valued, and so cared for. I'll carry that feeling with me forever, and I only hope that someday I can make people feel just as loved as my Nana made us all feel.
I also don't have any speech with me. I tried every day. The past 2 days, my both brothers are telling me, did you write anything for Dad? I was trying to gather my courage, picked up pen so many times at night, but I couldn't write. Because I have so many memories. I don't know from where to start. My heart still doesn't accept that he's not there. I was trying to prepare myself for past few weeks when I was with him in the hospital continuously from morning till late at night, that I know the end. But in front of him, I was just showing him courage, and he would look at me and he would start crying, but I would change the topic and talk about so many different friends that he has in India that he loves to talk about them. So I could never make up my mind that, oh, one day Dad will not be here. And I will just always remember all the stuff that he did for us. He worked so hard in life. He was always about education. Among all three of us, according to him, I was the weakest one in studies. And he would do anything, whatever he could do to make me feel that I can do it. Until today, I think I got the hard-working ethics from him. No matter what, I keep going. Because I always wanted to make him feel proud that Daddy, I can also do things like what my brothers are doing. Also, one more thing, he was always into fitness. I was a chubby girl when I was a teenager, and he never liked it. In the morning, he'll make me run from home to park every single day in summer. All these simple, small, fun memories I'll always cherish. And then you're still with me. I know your body won't be there, but will always be in your heart. And we always appreciate what you did for us. And grandkids, all of them, they have seen my father doing so many things for us, and I think they learned a lot from him. And thank you. with us in this difficult time.
Thank you. Now I'll invite to the stage Sanjeev, his youngest son, and his daughter-in-law as well.
The youngest of the 3 kids my father raised. Along with hundreds of other kids, he guided and coached all through his life. As being a master Guruji, the words we used to hear every day at our house. He was just not a teacher to them, but a life coach, a trusted advisor, and sometimes even a marriage counselor or a career path advisor. Being the youngest, I think I'm the privileged one that I get to spend most of the time with him. Maybe it was somewhere destined. Then we would be together at the end of his life. Like my older siblings, I have a lifetime of memories with him as well. Be it him dropping me to school on his bicycle, making lassi in the morning, or we telling Dad, it's the weekend, we want you to cook for us. He would make sure we focus on studies, even though at times we would stuck and watch TV shows to turn it off before he comes home when we hear him coming upstairs. I remember clearly childhood memories of him bringing sweet treats for us every day. He would come home after his last tuition and would make sure he finds us studying, so that makes him feel good. With so many memories, one thing which is consistent in all his life was his tireless work ethics, passion for life, helping others. Even when he was retired, he would guide other fellow seniors how they can be a part of the senior center and help them with the processing of their paperwork so they can join the senior center. They can all be together there. Today, while standing here, as I pay my tribute to my father, I want to say that thank you for providing us everything you did. Working full-time job and still working 6 to 8 hours extra every day to provide us everything you did. Thank you, Dad, for steering us on the path of knowledge, honesty, and respect for others. And thank you for so many friends we have because of you, the way you touch their lives. And thank you for providing our kids a loving and caring grandfather. We would not know how to model it if it wasn't for you. Thank you. And thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. There's not a lot of words I can say which haven't been said already. He became a part of my life since the day I married my husband, Sanjeev, and he's had a huge impact. With him, it's not about words, it's the things he does. As Ashley said before, it's the feeling. The little things he would do, he would look at you and he would know how the day went. He'll make sure you're taken care of. You have your breakfast, before you go to work, before you go to school. He had something ready for you when you get home, and he would take a look and he would understand what's going on. It's a good day or a bad day. On this day, all I want to say is thank you for treating me like your daughter, and thank you for treating your grandkids the way you did. That is your legacy, and you will be in our hearts forever. Thank you for loving us.
Now Syra and her friend Nadia. Syra is Don's granny, some Jews.
Good afternoon. If you don't know me, my name's Nadia, and I've known and grown up with the BHAGAT family almost my whole life. So I've personally never had a grandpa figure in my life, and I love the fact that Sarah and my aunt did. So I met Uncle, and I loved his parathas, and I'm pretty sure we could all agree on that. And yes, I could easily eat 3 of them. Even though I will miss his parathas so much, he had an amazing personality that will forever be missed. Whenever I met Uncle, he would always ask about how my school's going, how I like my classes, and how my sports are going. This would just show some of the little, this just shows how just some of the little things he has said made such a positive impact on my life. And I have a little memory. Like you were saying, he always says goodbye. So I always went to Syra and my aunt's house on the weekends before I moved, when I moved from Vegas. And he would always stand outside of the garage and he would force me to eat the almonds that he would give. He says, you have to eat them. And he wouldn't let me leave till I eat them. And I just think that never being able to have that again is really sad. Thank you.
Hi. I'm one of Dadu's granddaughters, so yeah, I call him Dadu, and I've been doing that since I was very young. And I would like to share a letter I wrote to him. I wrote this to Dadu before he passed away. I actually finished the letter on January 26th and was planning to read it to him on the next day, since I had not yet figured out how to translate the letter into Hindi. In retrospect, these things don't need words to be expressed anyways. But unfortunately, he passed away before I could read it to him. The relationship I had with Dadu never needed words. His love language was food, as I'm sure you know, and every bite was an I love you too to him. I know he already knew what I wanted to tell him, but just in case he could still hear me, I want him to know what I wrote. Dadu, you are so strong, and I wish you could be here forever. I know you are going to fight through this, but I want you to know how grateful I am for you. You have been like a third parent to me, and I'm so thankful for the 14 years we have spent together, where you have taught me so much. Thank you for teaching me math and Hindi, telling me about your life, and always joyfully agreeing to help me with anything and everything. Thank you for holding me when I was young and rocking me to sleep. I will always remember what you've kept telling me about keeping my books away from my face, not drinking ice, and wearing pants instead of shorts so I don't get cold. Thank you for eating desserts with me, making me watch the news, and teaching me to love. And I will always work to make you proud. I love you so much. Thank you for raising a kid who built us the best life ever, and teaching Ayan and I to follow in his footsteps. You've always helped me, so please let me know if there's anything I can do to support you now when you need help. Sincerely, Sarah, your favorite grandchild's sister. Because, let's be honest, we all knew it was Ayan. When I woke up on Thursday morning, in a world where you were no longer with us, I did not think I was strong enough to say goodbye. But you looked so peaceful, and it made it easier to know that you were no longer in pain. After raising 3 kids of your own, 6 grandchildren like your own, your countless students as part of your family, you deserve to rest. Even though I wish my future children could also have been raised by you, thank you for teaching me how to be strong and hardworking. I will make sure my kids know I got it from their great-grandpa. Before I left home today, I stopped in front of your room and whispered pranam to you in my head, that I will continue to do. I felt you with me, and I know I always will. Dadu, I will make you proud. Thank you, Dadu, for the 14 years of unconditional love and knowledge you gave me, and for making this goodbye so hard.
Next speaker is Jyoti Uncle. He's going to be speaking in Hindi.
नमस्कार। मेरे को नहीं समझ में आ रहा मैं कहाँ से शुरू करूँ, और मैं आज वार्तालाप सिर्फ अंकल से, और आप सब सुन सकते हैं कि मैं क्या बहुत सोच रहा था क्या बात बोलूँ। अंकल ने मेरे जीवन में बहुत टच करा। जब हम लोग नेबर्स थे, उस वक्त क्रिश अभी नया नया बॉर्न हुआ था, तो रूही का फुल टाइम स्कूल होता था और जॉब भी होती थी और मेरी भी होती थी। तो उनको समझ में आ गया इनके घर में वो अपने आप से आते थे, रोज खाना बना के जाते थे हमारे घर में। ऐसा कोई भी दिन नहीं गया कि जिस दिन हमने इंडियन खाना ना खाया। मैं यहाँ पे कई वर्षों से एक दोस्त की तलाश में था। उन्होंने मुझे और संजीव को मिलवाया, हमारी दोस्ती हुई, बहुत आपस में बातें हुई, क्या करना चाहते हैं जीवन में, और उन्हीं के आशीर्वाद से जहाँ पे हम हैं आज, all credit goes to him. Thank you अंकल। कोई भूल चूक हो गई है तो माफ कीजिएगा, but I always love you. Thank you.
So now I'll invite to the stage maybe the person who knew him longest in this room, Cable Uncle, who was Nana's cousin. And his son Gaurav will be joining him as well.
नमस्कार। और यार तू कितने रहना है? तेरे 5 बार फोन की तो फोन नहीं सकता। and rebuked to me always. So I wanted to say a few things about him. लेकिन अंग्रेजी में बोलना ज़रा मुश्किल है, raw emotions. So I'll speak mixture of Hindi, Punjabi, English. अभी मैं पुरानी फोटो जो दिखाई दे रही है देख रहा था। सब तरह की फोटो हैं, जो उसमें एक मिसिंग पार्ट है, वो ये है, एक पीरियड है उनकी लाइफ का जो उसमें नहीं है, क्योंकि उस टाइम में कैमरे तो होते नहीं थे, और अगर होते भी होंगे तो हम लोग तो अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाते। तो उसी पीरियड की 3-4 झलकियाँ या ग्लिम्पसेस आई ट्राई टू ब्रिंग इट आउट। मेरी उम्र उस टाइम में आयान से थोड़ा 2 साल 3 साल बड़ा, और पापा जी सेवा से 2-3 साल बड़े हो गए। मैं 4th, 5th, 6th ग्रेड में था और ये हाई स्कूल अपना पूरा कर रहे थे। भिवानी टाउन का नाम था, बहुत बड़ा परिवार था, परिवार में 10 लोग थे। लेकिन जो चीज़ स्ट्राइकिंग थी, जो अभी भी दिमाग में आ रही है, उनकी पर्सनैलिटी। Even a man, when he was very young, 15, 16 years old, very attractive, gleaming, tall, giant, जिसको कह सकते हैं कि जैसे महाभारत में पांडव में भीम थे, ये उनकी पर्सनैलिटी थी। और रोग उनका वैसे ही था जैसे आजकल है, वो कभी चुपते नहीं थे। जो ठीक है उसको ठीक बोलना, और बोलना भी अपने हिसाब से। तो उस टाइम में काफ़ी चीज़ें मेरे को याद है कि जो मैंने इनसे सीखी। बाइसिकल, माई इनिशियल बाइसिकल ये मेरे को लेके जाया करते थे, लेकिन पूछते नहीं। हमको उस टाइम में 1 टका मिलता था। टका पुराने रुपए का 32वां हिस्सा होता था, वो डेली हमारा को मिलता था। उसमें से 1 टका, 1 पैसा, आधा टका मेरी फीस इनको जाती थी साइकिल सिखाने के लिए। और इसी तरह घर में काम बहुत थे, और ही वॉज लाइक ए CEO इन द फैमिली। पानी भरना है, मंडी में सामान लेके आना है, छोटे मोटे जितने घर के काम थे सब इनके जिम्मे थे। इन्होंने उस टाइम में RSS में बड़े एक्टिव थे, मेरे को भी उस टाइम उस साइड में लगा। तो ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जब मैं पिक्चर देख रहा था तो पुरानी झलकियाँ दिमाग में वापस आ रही थी। उसके बाद इनकी अपनी जीवन यात्रा चालू हुई, मेरी अपनी, हम अलग अलग हो गए। लेकिन पिछले 20 सालों से ये पता नहीं था कि ज़िंदगी हमको फिर दोबारा एक दूसरे के इतने नज़दीक लेके आएगी। तो मैं रिश्ते में कहिए जो भी है, ये मेरे ब्रदर इन लॉ के छोटे ब्रदर हैं। तो एक तरह से मेरे एक्चुअली ही इज नॉट ब्रदर इन द लॉ, ही वॉज मोर देन ब्रदर फॉर मी। पिछले 20 सालों से ये एक तरह से मेरा परिवार का हिस्सा है, और मेरा यहाँ आना जाना उनके पास काफ़ी रहा। पिछले 15 दिन से 1 महीने से बीमार हैं या थे जब, तो मैं इनके पास 1 हफ्ते के लिए आया, लेकिन फिर भी जो इनका रोग, जो इनका रुतबा, इनकी पर्सनैलिटी, वो अभी तक भी मेरे दिमाग में गूंज रही है कि अभी कोई 3 हफ्ते पहले मैंने कहा मैं नीचे खाना खाने जा रहा हूँ, अभी आता हूँ। वापस आया, बोले और कमाल है, आप कितना टाइम लगा ले, इतनी देर हो गई है। So this was part of his personality. But जो सबसे ज़्यादा आवाज़ इनके अल्फाज मेरे दिमाग में रहेंगे और अभी तक भी गूंज रहे हैं, जैसे कि मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, वो ये है कि 15 दिन पहले जब मैं टूसान अरिज़ोना, जहाँ मेरा घर है, मैं जा रहा था, तो जो हेल्पर थे उनको बोला, उसको बोला, केवल को बोला, मैं गया, केवल इधर आगे और नेड़े आगे, मेरे को गले लगा लिया भाई साहब, बहुत प्यार से, बहुत ही दर्दनाक। वो अभी भी जो उनका लास्ट हग है मेरे को अभी भी महसूस हो रहा है। भाई साहब, तो गलती हो तो माफ, प्रणाम। और जैसे हमारे पुरानी रिलीजन कह लीजिए, उसमें बोलते हैं परमात्मा को हम लोग राज्य बोलते हैं, तो राज्य आपको अपने चरणों में हमेशा के लिए रखे और जहाँ भी हो आपकी आत्मा को शांति प्रणाम।
Thank you, Uncle Ji. So our last speaker, live speaker today, is Risha. Risha, I was trying to think of your relationship, and it defies words.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rishabh Gulati. I'm also an honorary member of the BHAGAT family. I was actually informed about this honor by Uncle after I had eaten 20 aloo tikkis that he had made that very day. I had signed a contract to try new of his dals every week. His smile at every bite, and his smile after I finished those pakoras, I don't think I can forget that. Uncle, you lived every moment in this world with a deep calm, with a childlike wonder, and love for the beauty in the world. You cultivated that beauty around you, in the blooming flowers of the garden you kept in your heart, and in the souls of your family and friends. Why else so many visitors, women and men, young and old, rich and poor, flow into your room day after day for your advice, your poetry, your company? I was inspired by your fierce intellect, your lust for learning, your resourcefulness, love for life, and your fearlessness. Oh, your fearlessness, Uncle. You were never afraid. In the darkest hours of your illness, you were never afraid. You were in so much pain, you still managed to smile. You still managed to ask me where I was going, what I was doing, what I did the last day. You wanted to know everything in that day. You cared. You showed me no fear, Uncle. You bathed in our love, and your eyes sparkled, and your spirits blazed, even as your body shut down. Everyone has come up here and shared such beautiful and heartfelt memories of you. The picture that they've put together, showing what a magnificent soul you are, makes me nostalgic for the touch of your soul. When I look back over this entire couple of years I got to spend with you, it's seamless how we got into the grandparent trope, with you screaming at me for not eating enough, and me telling you that I'm not an IT expert, I just restarted your phone. You know, on the last couple of weeks, everyone at the house, we've been struggling to find out what to say to each other. Like, everyone's just been blank, everyone's just been struggling with that. Everyone's trying to not go to his spots, near the kitchen, in his room, at the couch where he would usually be sitting. That emptiness that we're all feeling, looking at those spots, has filled up with everyone just talking about him. All the memories, all the stories, and it's been beautiful to see your life, Uncle. To learn about your life through these beautiful people that have been a part of your life. A couple of stories that I was told about. In the hospital, on the 3rd or 4th day while he'd been there, he looked at his daughter and he said, Anju, tu ghar pe paneer bana le, kyunki Rishabh akela hoega to paneer khalega. I mean, to be surrounded by so many doctors, so many nurses, and even in those last moments to think about what I would eat at home, that just shows me what a spectacular person you were, Uncle. Jizu, Masi, Sundi's Niku Masi, to you both, I want to say thank you for showing me how to love a parent. Thank you for showing me the meaning of unconditional love. You guys have given him so much love, and it is so inspirational. Thank you. Sarah and Ayan, all this week, you guys, we've been having conversations. All of us have gotten together and asked, where is he? He's never going to be here again. All of these questions have come up. I really don't know. But as I look down at all of you, all the grandchildren, all the children, he's here. He's always going to be here. The little things that he's left with each and every one of you. Every single way he's touched all of us in this room, we carry him forward. We carry the legacy. Uncle, I don't know how you love people so deeply. I don't know how you love the human spirit so deeply. I apologize. I could never equate your love. I'm sorry I could never love you the way you deserved. But today I make you a promise to now on love with my whole heart and only in your remembrance. I wanted to end this with a moment of silence for him and his soul. But that's not reflective of the man he was. Rather, I would want for all of us at this moment to think of the last time he inspired you. Think of the most beautiful memory you have of him. Let us all put our thoughts and love for him together and let him know. We're here, and so are you, forever. For you lived, and then you became immortal within all of us before you left. Thank you. Your Durga grandson.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishabh. As I look out into the gallery, I see a standing room only crowd. But even still, there were quite a few people who weren't able to make it here today. So they shared with us, they sent us some videos of their own thoughts about Dadaji. So I ask you to now turn your attention to the screen and we'll hear from them.
प्रकाश जी के बारे में कुछ कह रहा हूँ। धन प्रकाश जी की भावनाएं ऐसी सुंदर थी। एक दिन हमारे भाई कस्तूरी लाल जी की दुकान पर वहाँ काम करने के लिए गए, तो वहाँ जाके देखा कि फौजी लोग आते थे और उनको स्टेपल की शालें देते थे, गरम बनाकर देते और बहुत सारे पैसे लेते थे। इससे उनका जी बड़ा खराब हुआ और उन्होंने ये काम ही छोड़ दिया। कहने लगा अब तो मैं देखता हूँ मेरी भाभी अगर पढ़ाई कर सकती है बच्चों के साथ, सर्विस के साथ, वो पढ़ सकती, तो मैं क्यों नहीं पढ़ सकता। तो तो वो जलंधर चले गए, वहाँ जाकर प्राइवेट जॉब भी करी और पढ़ाई भी करी, और उसके बाद बीएड करके सर्विस में साथ के साथ अकेडमी भी चलाई और काम भी चलाया। तो इस तरह से अपना जीवन कैसे कैसे बनाया, मेहनत से, हिम्मत से। इसके बाद एक बार हमारे पास यहाँ जयपुर में आए। जयपुर में आकर के इतनी प्यार से सेवा से रहते थे यहाँ। एक दिन ऐसा कि सब लोग यहाँ बैठे थे, तो इनके सेवा का भाव कैसा उठा, सबको परांठे बना बना करके खिलाए। सब बड़े खुश हुए परांठे खाकर, और सब ने बड़ा प्रेम मनाया। जय हो, जय हो, जय हो, सबको प्रणाम। तो हमारी भगवान से प्रार्थना है कि उनके आत्मा को अपने चरणों में रखे, उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले, और घर परिवार को इतनी हिम्मत, इतना हौसला मिले कि इस दुख को सहन करने की उनको शक्ति मिले। सबको मेरी तरफ से प्रणाम।
हर साल मेरा जन्मदिन मनाते रहे, अपने हाथ से मिठाइयाँ बनानी, घर में पकौड़े बनाने, सब कुछ सेंटर में लेके जाते थे। बहुत अच्छी लाइफ मैंने बताई। 61 साल मेरे साथ रहे और हम खुशी खुशी ज़िंदगी बिताते रहे। मैं उनको हमेशा याद रखती हूँ, कभी भी नहीं भूल सकती। उनकी यादें अब तो यादें ही रह गई और कुछ नहीं रहा उनके साथ। वो हमेशा हंसते रहते थे, अगर वो उदास भी होती थी तो मुझे हंसाते रहते थे। मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले।
Pranam ji. Hi everyone. Chacha ji was, and it breaks my heart to say was and not is, such a charismatic personality, full of joy, love, enthusiasm, infectious laughter, and positivity. His love spanned across generations. I'm sure the love he showered on his niece, that is my mom, was as all-giving and warm as I felt it for myself. Maybe that's why I always ended up calling him Chacha ji. I just felt closer to him that way. That being said, he also always reminded me of Papa ji, which is my nan. And why wouldn't he? After all, he was my Papa ji's younger brother. And the love that he had for us, the care that he had for us, was just like what Papa ji used to have. And this is a sentiment that was echoed by my mom as well the other day when I was speaking with her. I have some abiding memories with him. One of those was way back in 2008 when I met him for the first time in the US. You know, Shikha and I were traveling there, and he actually made and got parathas for us. अभी कल परसों शिखा से बात हो रही थी, एंड शी सेड कि हम जब वहाँ गए तो मुझे लगा कि भाई मैं बहू हूँ, मैं पहली बार मिली हूँ, तो मैं उनके लिए कुछ खाना बनाऊँ. एंड he already had parathas, you know. He made them himself and got those for us. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And I remember, you know, another memory that I have is every time I used to call him, he would ask me, "Oye, tere green card tak hi banaya?" And every single time I would say, "Chacha ji, it's in the works. I mean, I can't do much, you know. I've filled all the documentation and it's just a wait and watch game." And he would always empathize. It felt like there was a, you know, बड़ों का एक हाथ होता है आपके कंधे पे, तो बस वो feeling होती थी. And then finally, you know, when it was time to actually get the process moving, and we knew that the green card was like right there, we needed some documentation, and he, along with Keval Mamaji, signed some documents that I needed, which were crucial. You know, to my getting the GC. And finally, when I got it, I called him and said, "Chacha ji, green card mil gaya finally." And he was overjoyed. He was over the moon. He was so happy for me. Amazing person. You know, most that I think Chachaji was proud of was his kids and his grandkids, you know, seeing them succeed and prosper. And as they say, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His love, his kindness will continue to live through his kids, Titu Bhaiya, Bobby Bhaiya, Didi. And I you know, in closing, I would just say, please accept my heartfelt condolences, and let me allow to reiterate that we've been so blessed, so fortunate that we've been a part of his life, and he has been a part of our life. And I'm sure he'll continue to bless us all wherever he is from his heavenly abode. Pranamji.
Auntie Ji, Rajiv Bhai, Bobby, Meenu and families, my deepest condolences to you. As I mourn Uncle's death, I also celebrate his life. And what an exemplary life he led. My earliest memories of Uncle go back almost 4 decades when I used to come to your place in Mohalla number 6, Jalandhar, Kent. And 9 out of 10 times I would find Uncle doing one of 2 things. Either he was tutoring a bunch of kids downstairs, or he was across the street playing cards. He was an incredibly social person, and maybe that's one of the reasons why everybody in the town knew him on a first-name basis. I also remember Uncle for his kindness, for his generosity, for his benevolence, and I was one of the recipients, many recipients, whom he helped. I remember that I ran into some serious issues regarding my NCRT scholarship, and Uncle went out of his way to help me out. And he wouldn't have done anything differently if it were Rajiv or Bobby. That's the kind of personal attention and care he gave me. I also remember Uncle's big smile, his energy, and his zest for life. He took tremendous pride in the accomplishments of his children and grandchildren. Wherever he is right now, I know one thing for sure, that he has already taken over the kitchen responsibilities there, and he's regaling everybody with his delicious aloo ka paratha and adrak wali chai. And somewhere he has a stash of motichur laddu and kaju ki barfi that he is planning to distribute as desserts later on. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and may all of you find peace, comfort, and strength. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Master PARKASH Bhagat was not an individual. He was an institution in himself. He was a great human being. जिस किसी को भी मिलते थे, उसकी लाइफ को किसी न किसी प्रकार से जरूर छूते थे. He was a very positive soul. हमारे जीवन में भी उनका एक बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. जब वो टीचर थे, हम तब भी उन्हें मास्टर जी बुलाते थे, और हम कमज़ोर विद्यार्थी होते थे, और उन्होंने हमें स्कूल के अलावा अपने घर में, कभी हमारे घर में भी हमें स्टडी दी, शिक्षा दी, और हमें लायक बनाने का हर संभव प्रयास किया. स्कूल एनडी विक्टर स्कूल में एनसीसी का चार्ज उनके पास होता था. तब उन्होंने हमें एनसीसी ज्वाइन करने की प्रेरणा दी, और उन्हीं के प्रेरणा से हमने एनसीसी भी ज्वाइन की. स्कूलिंग ख़त्म करने के बाद हमको कौन सी स्ट्रीम में जाना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए, उसके लिए पिताजी ने जय अंकल को कहा कि मास्टर जी से सलाह करो क्या करना चाहिए. और मुझे याद है कि मास्टर जी ने कहा, क्योंकि आप व्यापारी लोग हो तो कॉमर्स ही करानी चाहिए. तो अगर हम कॉमर्स ग्रेजुएट हैं आज, तो ये डिसीजन ना हमारा था, ना हमारे पेरेंट्स का था, मगर मास्टर जी का था. उनके बारे में बहुत कुछ कहा जा सकता है. अब जब भी वो अमेरिका से आते थे तो जय अंकल के घर पे ही आते थे, और जब जय अंकल का फ़ोन आता था कि मास्टर जी आए हुए हैं, तो मन हर्षोल्लास हो जाता था, और हर रोज़ कोशिश होती थी कि उनसे मिला जाए, कभी अंकल के पास जाके, कभी अपने घर बुला के उनके साथ रहना बहुत अच्छा लगता था, बहुत पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशंस मिलती थी। आज वो हमारे बीच नहीं रहे। मैंने पहले भी मैसेज में लिखा था बॉबी और राजीव को कि मास्टर जी शब्द हमारी डिक्शनरी से आउट हो गया, क्योंकि इस संसार में स्वाय उनके कोई ऐसा टीचर नहीं था जिसे हम मास्टर जी कह के पुकारते थे। वी हैव लॉस्ट हिम, वी प्रे गॉड टू गिव पीस टू हिज सोल एंड स्ट्रेंथ टू द फैमिली टू बियर दिस लॉस। ओम शांति।
Just really missing Granddad. Really miss how he used to give the cookies to me and Corbin. Yeah, he's forever going to be missed, and yeah, I hope everyone's well there as well.
From England, hello auntie and uncle. We're missing Granddad very much. Back here in England, me and Bubba both miss all the wisdom Granddad used to share with us and teach us, and all the extra cookies and milk he used to give us when we were little.
Hi, this is Herbie from UK. Hi Bobby, hi Nutu, hi Auntie. I'm so sorry to hear the sad news of your loss. He was a father to all of us, not just you guys. And Bobby, you need to be really, really strong now for the kids and for the family. We really miss him. He made us feel at home every time we came and seeing him. We are devastated with the news, but we need to keep strong and keep going forward.
Hello everyone. It's with deepest sorrow and sadness that I write this tribute to my dear uncle. He was one in a million, very humble, kind, caring, and good at heart and soul. Since we met him, we became a family. He loved walking, and I remember how he would walk to our house with a cane and give us a surprise. I always told him, Uncle, I would have picked you up, but he would never stop walking. He would often invite us over for tea, and 10 different snacks he would serve. And of course, he wouldn't let us go without eating dinner. I'm sure everyone has enjoyed his pakoras, roti, and tea one of these days. He always shared his stories of his struggles, hard work, and eventually raised 3 precious children, very successful children actually. In his last days, he was very contented, very happy, and grateful for what he achieved in life, and he was ready to go. As everybody knows, he was a great poet and often would do shairi, and I had the opportunity to record one when I went to see him in the hospital like 2-3 weeks ago, and he said, his last words were, ये चमन यूं ही रहेगा, ये चमन यूं ही रहेगा, और हजारों बुलबुलें अपनी अपनी बोलियां बोल कर उड़ जाएंगी. How true, how true. May Almighty God keep him safe, resting in perfect peace. He will always be missed in our hearts until we leave this world. We love you, Uncle, and we miss you. We love you.
वो हमारे बचपन में आपका आना और घर में जैसे बाहर आ जाना, हमारी शादी के बाद पंजाब में हमेशा पिता की तरह प्यार देना, फिर दिल्ली और फरीदाबाद की तो मानो दूरी कभी महसूस ही ना होने देना, हमारे बच्चों की शादियों में आपकी रौनक भरी उपस्थिति का होना, यही नहीं सबको अपने हाथों से बनाकर आपका खिलाने का शौक़। आज मेरी आंखों में आपके प्यार का हर एक लम्हा ताज़ा हो रहा है। मेरे प्यारे चाचा जी, आप चाहे आज सबको अलविदा कह गए, पर हमारी यादों में आप हमेशा रहेंगे, हमेशा रहेंगे। प्रभु आपको अपने चरणों में स्थान दें।
Heartfelt condolences to Auntie Ji, Sanjeev Ji, Neetu, Bhaiya, Didi and entire family. We all were saddened to hear about Uncle's death as we all were very close to him. Today we mourn his death and celebrate his life. His journey cannot be described in words. He taught, inspired and loved me like his own son always. We shared amazing memories together. I can never forget how every morning he used to make his special parathas and tea for me when I used to visit him in US. He was very active and social and was always connected to every person he knew. He would call me regularly and ask me about everyone. He taught, mentored and inspired so many people, and soon everyone started calling him Guruji. He was very kind, generous and always thought of helping others. I still remember he called me up from the hospital, and even though he was going through pain and health issues, he wanted to help others. He will always be a huge part of our lives. May his soul rest in peace. Wishing you all prayers, peace, strength and support at this time of sorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Om.
Hello everyone. It breaks my absolute heart being here and like filming this and not being there in person and not being able to say words in person, because Uncle was so important to me and to my family, and for me in my growing, in every aspect of my childhood, I remember Uncle and always being there for us. But what I most remember is how much he really, really loved Sarah and Ayan. And I know they are so, so grateful for the amount of love he put on to this earth. And I am so grateful that I was able to get some of that love and that I got to know him as some type of a person. And I know he's in a better place, and I hope all of you guys know that too. I love you, Uncle. You will always be loved. You are so loved. You're so loved by your son, who loved and respected you so incredibly much. And most importantly, Sarah, Ayan, Neetu Auntie, and the rest of our family, we love you forever and ever.
Difficult to describe Uncle. Very, very difficult. Because if you start describing Uncle, you explain his one trait and then you will say, oh, other one has been missed. All I can say, such a great personality who was on this earth, who did so much for society, who did so much for everybody else. And the example is in front of us. Uncle has groomed children like Sanjeev, Rajiv, Meenu. They are excellent people, very capable and gem of people. So that is also Uncle's contribution, I will say. All I will say is that we have to accept destiny. We have to accept that Uncle is not with us. But at the same time, the biggest tribute I think which we can give to Uncle is to follow his footsteps. Be straightforward, be forthright, be a fighter, and always keep others first. Do things for yourself, but at the same time, give first preference to society, to the nation. Uncle, it is very difficult to follow all these footsteps. I only say, kindly give us the courage and wisdom to follow your footsteps, and we can only assure you we will do our best. So I will end my tribute here, and I will only say in the end, Auntie, Rajiv, Sanjeev, Meenu, Saira, kids, Neetu, and everyone in Bhagat family, that we continue to live like a one family, and we will all try to follow the footsteps, the path which Uncle had shown to us and to everybody on this earth. With that note, thank you very much.
जब मैंने भगत साहब की मौत के बारे में सुना तो मुझे बड़ा शौक लगा। मैंने उनके जैसा नेक इंसान नहीं देखा। वो मेरे कुड़म थे, पर हमारा रिश्ता भाइयों वाला था। मैं कभी वह प्यारे लम्हे जो उनके साथ बिताए वह नहीं भूलूंगा। मेरे दिल में उनके लिए बहुत इज्जत है, उनकी जगह कोई नहीं ले सकता। वे हमेशा सबकी सहायता के लिए तैयार रहते थे। भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे। हमारी सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि उनके प्रति यही है कि हम उनके बताए हुए रास्ते पर चलें।
ये चमन यूं ही रहेगा और हजारों बुलबुलें अपनी अपनी बोलियां सब बोल कर उड़ जाएंगे।
So now, we'll invite you to line up and join us in paying our respects. And after you've paid your respects, please join us outside, where we will release doves in Dadaji's honor. Following the release of the doves, a private cremation will take place. And we hope that you'll join us after today's service at the Gurdwara in Santa Ana for Langar in his honor. Thank you very much.
सब लोग अपनी अपनी जगह पे खड़े हो जाइए। अंकल जी को सभी मिलके 2 मिनट के प्रार्थना कि हे प्रभु, इस जीवात्मा को आपके चरण में स्थान देना और उनके परिवार को ये सदमा जो है सहन करने की प्रभु शक्ति दे। तो सभी लोग अपनी अपनी जगह पे खड़े रहिए, आंखें बंद करके अपने अपने इष्ट देव या जिस देव को आप श्रद्धा से मानते हो, 2 उस परमात्मा के चरणों में प्रार्थना। अनाधि निधनो देव शंख चक्र गदाधर अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्ष जीव मोक्ष प्रदो भव। 2 मिनट के लिए मौन हृदय से परमात्मा को प्रार्थना कीजिए।
We invite you now to come join us. Please proceed this way, counterclockwise around the castle.
सभी लोग मेरे साथ भगवान का नाम स्मरण कीजिए। श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 भजमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण भजमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण माता नारायण 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 माता नारायण 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 पिता नारायण 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 पिता नारायण 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 गुरु नारायण 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 गुरु भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 वेद नारायण 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 वेद नारायण 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 श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण गुरु नारायण 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 गुरु नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण वेद नारायण 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 वेद नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण सूर्य नारायण 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 सूर्य नारायण 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 चंद्र नारायण 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 चंद्र नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण 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 सत्य नारायण 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 अजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 श्रीमन 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 नारायण नारायण नारायण। जीव मोक्षप्रदो भव स्वर्गे वासोऽस्तु।
सत्य है।
नावे जाओ।
Back to their home in Hacienda Heights. First, we're going to release a few doves representing Don going home. Then we're going to release the remaining doves to representing those who have gone before and those of us who will follow.
Okay. Thank you.
सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है। पहले यहाँ पैरों का भाग, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है। मुखाग्नि देना है, तो मुख के पास ऐसे लेके जाना और यहाँ ऊपर रखना, राइट। ओम अग्नेनाय सुपधाराय असमान विश्वानि देव वायुरानि पितवन्ना यस्मज्जोराणवेनो भूतिष्ठान्ते नमः मुक्तिं विधेवा। ओम चतुर्मारिसृङ्गात्रयो अस्य पादाद्वे शीरघे सप्तहस्तासो अस्य त्रिधामद्धो रघभोरोरमि इमहो देवो मर्त्या आविवेश त्रिदाहितं पाणिभिर्गुह्यमानङ्गभिदेवासो कृतमन्वविन्दन्न मित्र एकत्वसु एकञ्जजानत्वेन एकत्वसुमधयानिष्टचक्षुः। ओम सप्तदे अग्ने समिधाः सप्तधिपाः सप्तरघयः सप्तधामप्रियाणि सप्तहोत्राः सप्तधात्वा जजन्ति सप्तजोनिरा ग्रदेन समाः। ओम एषते नमो नमः। This one?
It's a rental casket.
Oh, okay.
So we can do that, and then we can continue.
Okay. Can you hold it?
If I could ask everybody.
It's very good. It's good. ऐसे करके.
Everybody back in.
Right. एषते नमो नमः। इमं मे वरुणस्तुति हवमद्या चमृडय त्वामवस्युराचके। थोड़ा सा पानी इसमें डालो। बस अभी हो गया।
So guys, can we come back inside.
सब लोग दो हाथ जोड़ के प्रार्थना करें। ओम पितृभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः, पितामहेभ्यः स्वधायिभ्यः स्वधा नमः। अच्छन् पितरो मे मदन्त पितरोति, त्रपन्त पितरः पितरः सर्वम् अग्नेन सुपधाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुना नित्यवन्ना तस्मज्जुहुराणवेनो ओ विष्णन्ते नमः देवा। शांति शांति। आप दोनों जो रिंग है वो निकाल के यहाँ रख
You can ready everything, right?
Ready?
Ready, right?
Yeah, we're gonna,
Okay.
Few more minutes and then we're gonna all go.
Okay.
Yeah. You're still on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are.
मेरा कहने का ये है जितना हो सके उसे अस्थियाँ विसर्जन करो, चाहे थोड़ी जल के, तो क्या है श्राद्ध कर्म करो तो पहले अस्थियाँ विसर्जन हो जाए, उसके बाद श्राद्ध कर्म हो। बाकी अस्थियाँ घर के अंदर नहीं लेके जाना है, यहीं रखो, जल में प्रवाहित करो। कल परसों जल्दी बैंक हाँ। और कोई क्वेश्चन हो एनी में तो आप सभी लोग स्नान करते हैं। भगवान की कोई जब तक श्राद्ध न हो एवरी डे इवनिंग
Feed it, right? Feed it, everything.
Sorry?
Being ready.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Feed it.
We're just gonna go.
Okay, go hold. Thank you very much. Read it.